Unit 7, New Ways of Thinking. Lesson A, Inventions. Vocabulary, positive and negative descriptions. Okay, so here in this box we have 2, 4, 6, 8 words, 8 vocabulary words. They're all adjectives used to describe nouns. And we're going to learn how to turn them negative because these are all positive descriptions. And we're going to use the prefixes un and in order to turn them negative. Okay, so the vocabulary words are convenient, conventional, creative, effective, eventful, imaginative, significant, and successful. Okay, so here in this column on the left we have all the words that use the prefix un in order to turn it negative. They are unconventional, uncreative, uneventful, unimaginative, unsuccessful. And the words that use the prefix in are inconvenient, ineffective, insignificant. Okay, and here in this activity, we're going to use them in an example sentence. It's, the first computers were huge, they filled an entire room. They were very inconvenient for everyday use. They were inconvenient because they were huge and filled the entire room. Okay, number 2, Coco Chanel's fashion designs are world famous. They were so imaginative, many people have copied them. They were imaginative because they were world famous. Fashion designs. Number 3, the new hybrid car is unconventional. I've never seen one like it. It uses air, not gasoline. Okay, so it's unconventional because she's never seen one like it. Number 4, one day in 1847, Joseph Fry discovered a way to make chocolate bars. What an eventful day that was. What would we do without them? Okay, so it was an eventful day in 1847. Grammar, so and such. Use so and such with an adjective to make the adjective stronger. So plus adjective. Here's a sample sentence. It was so creative. It was so well made. Okay, and the formula for such is such plus the auxiliary word a or an plus adjective plus singular noun. It was such a creative idea. It was such a well-made aqueduct. Okay. Use a that clause with so or such to show a result. The abacus was so effective that it spread to other places. The abacus was such an effective tool that it spread to other places. Okay. So we divide the reason with the result with the word that. Okay, let's do see them in activity. We're going to see how we use the words such and so. The adjective is already in the sentence. Okay, number one, the wheel was such a significant invention. Number two, her ideas were so unimaginative. Number three, his inventions have been so successful. Number four, his thinking is so unconventional. Number five, she was such a creative woman. Number six, wireless internet access is so convenient. Okay, so here the key word is auxiliary word a or an, which is used only for such. Such a, such a. With the use of the word so, we follow with an adjective. Okay, activity B. Number one, downloading music is so popular that CD sales have decreased. Okay, so we're going to use the word that in all of them to separate the reason from the result. We're going to use the words in parentheses, and we're going to decide if we're going to use so or such. So number two, I think the perfect cake cutter was such an ineffective invention that no one wanted to buy it. Okay, so we use such because we have the auxiliary word and with the adjective that we're going to use, and we add that at the end. Number three, cell phones are so inexpensive that almost everyone has one. So adjective is inexpensive, we use the word so, and we add that at the end. Number four, MP3 players were such a big success that they changed the way we listen to music. Okay, so we have the auxiliary word a. So we're going to use such at the beginning, and we ended with the word that. Okay, it's lesson C, accidental inventions. We had vocabulary, verb, and noun formation. Okay, so vocabulary words are the words in bold letters, and they are invention, introduced, designed, innovation, proved, success, created, developed, improvement. Okay, so we're going to see how a noun is turned into a verb. Okay, here in the paragraph we can see them in both forms, and form as a verb or a form as a noun. Okay, sometimes a successful invention happens by accident. Tea bags, for example. Thomas Sullivan introduced tea bags to the world in 1908. He was a New York tea importer. He sent tea to his clients in tin cans, but tin was so heavy and expensive that he needed a more convenient way to send it. So he designed inexpensive bags to hold the tea leaves and sent them instead. Thomas's customers were supposed to open the bags and put the leaves in hot water. Instead, they used the entire bag, but this innovation worked. Immediately, tea bags proved to be a big success. Ruth Wakefield created another accidental invention in her Massachusetts hotel in 1930. One day, Ruth didn't have enough chocolate for her usual chocolate cookie recipe. So she cut a chocolate bar into small pieces and made more cookies with less chocolate. The chocolate chips didn't melt completely, but her guests loved them. Ruth developed the original chocolate chip cookie, and her recipe has never needed much improvement. It's still the world's most popular chocolate chip cookie recipe today. Okay, so here we have all the nouns on the right columns, and we have it in the form of a verb in the left column. You notice Then in the form of a noun, it ends with a T-I-O-N. And in the form of a verb, it ends with the E-D, which changes its tense. Okay, so we have the words invented, invention, introduced, introduction, designed, and design, innovated, innovation, proved, proof, succeeded, success, created, creation, developed, development, improved, improvement. Okay? Grammar, the passive. Here we have the passive and active. We have active only to help describe the difference between active and passive. We have three different tenses. We have simple present, simple past, and present perfect. Okay, example sentence are for simple present. People still use her recipe today. For active. And passive, her recipe is still used today. So if you notice, we have the ED at the end for passive, which is the case for all three of them, except for simple present and active. Simple past, HF invented it in 1853. It was invented in 1853. So in passive, we have an auxiliary word, was, because it's singular. If it were plural, we would use the word were. Present perfect and active, we have companies have developed many flavors since 1853. In passive, many flavors have been developed since 1853. Here, in present perfect, we have the auxiliary word have in both active and passive. Only in passive, we add the verb be in its passive form as been. So it's many flavors have been developed since 1853. Okay, so here in the activity, we're going to change these sentences into their passive form. Number one is, Thomas Sullivan introduced tea bags to the world in 1908. Tea bags were introduced to the world in 1908. What we do here is we add the word were, because tea bags is plural. And that's how we change it to passive. Number two, Sullivan designed small bags to hold the tea. Small bags were designed to hold the tea. Okay, so again, we add the word were. Number three, a man produced the first flavored potato chip in 1950s. The first flavored potato chips was produced in 1950s. So we add the auxiliary word was. Number four, potato chip makers have developed many unique flavors. Many unique flavors have been developed. Okay, so we have the auxiliary words have been to make the present perfect passive. Activity B. We're going to use the words in parentheses, and we're going to change them or we're going to use them in their simple present or simple past or present perfect form, adding the auxiliary word to declare the tense. So it's the 3M company has been known for its innovation for a long time. Okay, so we add the auxiliary word has, the auxiliary word be, and we change it to been. And we change know to known. So it can be in its present perfect form. So the 3M company has been known for its innovation for a long time. But there have been mistakes along the way. Today, employees are encouraged to learn from past mistakes. Okay, so we add the ed at the end to change encourage to encouraged. And since it's employees is a plural word, we use the auxiliary word or the be word are. Today, employees are encouraged to learn from past mistakes. That's how Arthur Fry learned about a special glue. It was created in the 3M lab in 1968. So we changed create to created by adding the ed at the end. And we use the auxiliary word was because it is singular. It was created in the 3M lab in 1968. The glue wasn't strong enough, so it was forgotten. We usually add the ed at the end, but since forget is an irregular word, we change it to forgotten by adding an extra t and an en at the end. The auxiliary word we use is was because it is singular. So it's the glue wasn't strong enough, so it was forgotten. But Fry found it in 1978 and used it to develop Post-it notes. The original Post-it notes have been improved since then. So we add the ed to improve to make it improved, and add have and been so it can be in its present perfect passive form. And now they are sold all over the world. We change sell to sold since it's an irregular word. And we add are since Post-it notes is plural. So it's the original Post-it notes have been improved since then, and now they are sold all over the world.